What's up, assholes? Got a Schwalbe Magic Mary Radial review for you. Nick and I have been riding these for quite a while. We ran these all throughout the e-bike shootout. Schwalbe did sponsor the e-bike shootout, so take that into account. We're not sending this video to Schwalbe. This review wasn't a part of the package of the e-bike review. So we're coming at this, as objectively as we can. The radial casing is really interesting because no other gravity casing that I've ridden is this supple, yet they still hold it together in the corners. It's not as locked in of a feeling or as stiff of a casing as some other tires, but they don't exactly roll over in the way that you would expect with the casing being so supple, and the casing being so supple allows these tires to find grip in ways that not many others do.
Like, I rode the old Magic Mary a bunch. It was like my go-to as a privateer racer. Like, I'd say its weakness of the old Magic Mary was, say, its casing was extremely stiff. When they were brand new, they were mildly unpleasant to ride because they actually have to break in because that casing was so stiff. So then you get on these and it just deletes that weakness and just has an amazing ride quality as a result of the casing.
I think some tires, they find their grip by being like really locked in on the side knobs, and that Specialized Cannibal is an example of that, where the casing was quite dead, the side knob's super stiff, and it just is like on a rail digging into the ground. I feel like this tire, the casing and the tread pattern, it finds its grip by just like conforming to the ground. And these tires absorb like high frequency, small input chatter incredibly well, and it starts to like improve the way your bike is feeling from a suspension perspective.
It's like adding or removing compression and rebound through your tire. Obviously the tire does feel soft, but it doesn't feel bouncy. Sometimes like a soft tire can feel bouncy, whereas these absorb the impact, stay in contact with the ground, but don't like unweight.
It's like you're running your tires with a much softer compression tune and faster rebound.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Which just means the tire is actually in contact with the ground more often. In my experience, a tire that is more supple, I like that. You have more feel, or I have more feel of where traction's at and how to judge like exactly how my tire is interacting with the ground. And with these, I felt like I had a really tactile feel for where traction was and how I was losing traction, and the grip slip area between gripping and sliding was really easy to judge, and it came on quite predictably. And yeah, I think I was just able to gather more information from what the tire was doing, because I think it was just actually on the ground conforming to the trail in a better way. On the flip side, a tire that's good in that regard, you usually give up sidewall support. And I still won't say these tires are the most supportive when you are loading it heavily, but they perform way better than you would ever expect for how vertically compliant they are. And it's not something that really held me back in many situations.
Yeah, no, I never once thought of the softer casing as a problem. You don't really think about it. You're just like, I have more grip. What I do like with this tread pattern is its ability to, say, climb cambers. So, like, you can turn in to, like, the hillside once again. Like, whereas this is something I wasn't stoked on with the Cannibal, with this tire, I like taking highline setups into corners. It's just something I enjoy doing. And this makes that really easy. You just turn into the hill, it grips, climbs. And then also, like, roots and rocks, this tire does very well with, even when they're wet. That's something I don't love, is wet roots. It's not it's not terrain I am super stoked to go ride. I don't do much, and it's just kind of squirrely. But this tire definitely makes those scenarios more pleasant and a little bit more predictable.
It's really hard to get this tire to deflect. It just wants to like take that energy and conform to the trail. You definitely have to run higher pressures. Like for the e-bike test, we were running
27, 31.
Yeah.
27 in the front, 31 in the back. You need to run more air than, I don't know what it's going to be, whatever you're comfortable with, but you definitely need to increase your pressure from whatever you're running. So that's a very important, like, critical detail. You know,
Don't be afraid to go to higher pressures. It's not going to feel like it does on your Maxxis or Specialized tires or whatever you're running. It's going to feel completely different, so you have to recalibrate your pressure standards.
Yeah, for sure.
For where you're at on this tire. And we run these quite a bit. I've never flatted. Do you any flats?
I don't think so. So I think one thing it does incredibly well that, say, at least from my observation, that an Assegai does not do well is shed mud.
Yeah, 100%.
This was like at TDS observing, like, some friends had Assegais on, and it was just like a solid block of mud. And then the Magics were just, oh, it's a tire. Look, it doesn't have any mud really on it. And so that was,
yeah,
you know, a testament to whatever. I mean, obviously, yeah. I'm guessing this is developed in Europe, and it gets way muddier over there than what we have over here, and it shows.
And the Assegai is, in my opinion, probably one of the best.
It's a benchmark tire.
Hard pack, dry condition tires. But again, you put the Assegai in wet conditions, and it's bad. Like it does not clear. And like this still does really well in hard pack, but you can take it super far on the wet spectrum and not have it be over your head. It just spans such a wide range of conditions that it makes it a really compelling choice. You know, as far as rolling speed for a tire that's, you know, this aggressive,
grippy.
Like I think it rolls really fast, and honestly, I think it has a lot to do with how compliant the casing is.
Lower pressure actually does roll apparently a little bit faster because it's more compliant. So instead of hitting, when you hit a bump or whatever, instead of getting bounced up or off the ground, it's smoother. And I think that this tire, instead of deflecting off of terrain features, it just kind of absorbs it and keeps going through it.
I 100% feel like it rolls faster than I expect it to because of the casing and just how supple it is.
Yeah.
And that's something I've experienced going from same compound and tread pattern in Maxxis. Like Maxxis double downs in the same compound and tread pattern roll faster than downhill casings. In my experience, it's because of how supple that casing is. So you kind of get that faster rolling feel with more support with the radial casings. Yeah, my favorite part is just how much feel they have and how I'm able to judge traction in comparison to the Cannibal. That's where I feel like I struggled, was sliding that tire around predictably. I feel like slides come on maybe more often on this tire. Like it's a more slidey tire, but I find it quite predictable, and I'm able to drift the bike around in that way.
This and an Assegai are very, I think why they're so popular is they allow for turning with your handlebars to turn in versus having to lean. Say like the Cannibal, you really had to lean. It wasn't the friendliest just turn in. And that's something with this, you just can almost ride sloppy and get away with it.
There's never really a point where you need to be like, oh, I need to get it on this edge. It's like in the total arc and lean angle of the tire, there's going to be rubber on the ground, and it's really not going to leave you hanging throughout that entire lean angle. Yeah, anything you don't like?
Honestly, not really. I mean, yeah, not really. I mean, I'd think that in the super soft compound, I don't think it lasts super long, but that's just, you don't get your cake and eat it too, or whatever the saying is. Like, you don't get a super grippy tire that lasts a long time. It's just the reality of that.
Just to touch on the compound, the super soft is quite soft.
It's good.
It's really good, especially up front. I really like it. We rode the soft and the super soft, back to back in the rear, and the soft is noticeably slidier.
Yeah, you can just feel it move a little bit more.
Move a little bit more, but you get significant. I think the jump in durability is quite noticeable.
For sure.
So, I mean, if I were to be running anything on my bike, it would be super soft up front, soft in the back. But honestly, I don't think you would be that bummed to have a soft in the front either.
Yeah.
But there is a noticeable step up in grip.
I guess my only strange observation is you get like a wear mark in between the top knobs. It's almost like you can see that the tire is either touching the ground. I don't know what's going on there, but there's like a visible wear mark on the top of the casing. Not like it's a bad thing, it's just an observation that's different from any other tire I've ever seen.
I think it literally is due to how much the tire actually deforms. I mean, this is running low pressure, but you can see it. You compress this all, it deforms a lot. And that's like the whole concept with the radial casing, is that you're gonna get more contact patch if the tire deforms more, there's actually more rubber on the ground. But that also means that it's deflecting inward so much that sometimes the actual casing of the tire could be the highest point on the contact patch. There's some different stuff happening with these tires. I really like them.
I imagine that other brands will be doing something similar in the future. Like it's that good. It just brings the level of performance up quite high. So
Yeah.
Be curious to see what, if anything, the competition does to match that. And
Yeah, honestly, when this came out, I'm like, wait, what? Like, if this is so good, like, why hasn't it existed before?
at least in bicycles, like, I'm pretty sure it's in other
Yeah,
vehicle
it's in other
forms.
things. And when they're making bold marketing claims like this, I feel like I have a healthy level of skepticism. But through riding them, I'm like, nah,
Not bullshit.
it kind of works out. Like, yeah, it's not bullshit. So, but yeah, I think that's about it for this video. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys in the next one.
Like and subscribe.
You heard him.